I know, Buster. I know. I know. So happy fall equinox, right? Happy fall. Yes. Happy fall. Hi, Patty. So fall equinox is a kind of massive transition from the summer. It is the summer is that pitta energy, that heat, where we do a lot of stretching in the summer because our muscles are already heated up. And in the fall, it is the season of the wind. So it is the season of our breath. It's the season of our central nervous system disorders. And getting them in check. So anxiety, stresses, all the things. That's just an indicator that there's too much wind, too much vata energy in your system. And learning to join the dots of, oh, I'm starting to feel anxious because I didn't prepare for that thing, or I'm starting to feel anxious because I can't control all the scenarios. So basically we have a season of the wind on our central nervous system. And it is your job really to understand the instrument you live inside of. You know, not just the functionality of glands and the pancreas and what happens with glucose, but actually how you contribute to a lot of the wind and the vata. So take for instance, if I'm nervous about something, or I'm nervous flyer, and I take sweaty palms and heart palpitations. So these are a physical response to something that I am doing and I have to do, right, to travel. So then that would be me looking for skills to be able to navigate and not have to manage, you know, these stressors. How can I actually decide to bring it down? How do I decide to move through certain things? Rather than this mentality which is, well, I'm just a fearful person. Are you? Are you, or is that a mantra that stops you looking at your anxiety and things that you need to start to clean up? And no one's going to force you to clean it up. No one's going to force you to do a practice. No one's going to force you to excavate and look. But then you're actually cheating yourself of things that are actually censoring you. And you don't know they're censoring you until you start to excavate. And you need to also excavate with people who, because you're always scanning, you're always reading people, you're always reading, can this person really help me? Can this person go there? Can I tell this worst thing that happened to me and they're going to be able to help me collapse it and dissolve it and get rid of it? Or is it just going to sit there in between us, like heavy, dense, like a stench? And that's it. I've said it out loud, but that's not enough for me. So this is when you call in spiritual practices. So this is the season for you to look at your diet, i.e. changing from, you know, the summer fruits, the summer watermelon, into the soups, right? The broths, the Scotch broths, the bone broths. And also looking at some of the seasonal vegetables, you know, that come up, like pumpkin and we have all the spices, right? But it's not spicy as in Southeast Asia spicy. It's more of a dull spice, like the cinnamons and the nutmegs and the pumpkin spices. And this was also the season for pickling. You know, you would bring in your harvest, and then you would start to pickle, you know, your cucumbers, your dill, all the things that you wanted to keep through the fall into the winter. And it was also things that you would look at and say, okay, I didn't have a very good harvest. Why was that? What can I change? How can I adapt? How can I do things better for next year? You didn't just sit with a bad harvest and not improve it. And that's kind of like us, you know, when something doesn't go our way, when something doesn't happen, you have to ask yourself. Sometimes the number one thing is to ask yourself of like, oh, how can I do it differently? How can I do it better? Maybe how can I do it smarter and actually not as hard? Maybe I'm trying too hard. So there's all different things that we did during the harvest time, right? We celebrated the harvest. We looked to see what worked, what didn't work, pickling. And also, if you have any of you with teenagers or any of you that have PMS problems, a lot of dehydration happens in the body. And when you drink the juice from pickle, it really hydrates you, right? It's very alkali to the body, but it takes all of those cramps away. So knowing things and informing yourself, and this is why they had certain seasonal vegetables, this is why they did certain things, and kind of getting back to, you know, sometimes your grandmother's recipes. Sometimes it is like, oh, I'm gonna make some soup. Oh, I don't know how to make soup. Oh, I'm gonna like watch someone that's really amazing on IG or YouTube, or I'm gonna join a cooking class and I'm going to collaborate, or I'm gonna just, you know, try and learn, put some recipes together myself, you know, and adapt it for myself. Like I was saying earlier, I don't like making Brussels sprouts, but I love getting them from the Japanese restaurant. Right? I love their Brussels sprouts and I love their artichoke in miso sauce, right? So it's learning different ways of cooking things that I come from a very meat and potatoes, mince and taties kind of vibe, you know, and it's exotic if you put an onion in it and some turnip. So, you know, getting to know different spices, getting to know different things, but it's definitely not to overspice your food, but also not to have that too sweet. You're getting into the purees and the broths now. And your root vegetables. Like I like my root vegetables either in a juice, beetroot, carrot, all of that. And then I also like my, there's certain root vegetables that I love to cook, like parsnips, although they're usually an occasion thing because they're just they're not the easiest things to cook, because I like them with honey and roasted and all of that good stuff. But the potatoes, the carrots, the leek, all of that, like putting that in a broth and then, you know, having that over the week. You know, like in Scotland I used to just love getting a broth for my dinner, like hearty, you know. These are the things that kind of stick to the bones, they say, right? And I think people are starting to realize the soups and the where for our ancestors, they weren't just good, they were good for our joints, they're good for the bone, they're good for your immune system. So it really kind of, you know, if soups aren't something that is your jam, you know, maybe kind of look to see what is. So I thought what we would do is do some breathing, since it is the wind and things are going to get very windy and the wind of change next month. So understanding that our breath is connected to the mind, and the breath is the first indicator of a disruption in the mind. Just kind of like, you know, when you're in chaos, it feels like a tornado in the mind. Well, the breath gasps and grabs. And sometimes people don't know that they're actually holding their breath for like 7 seconds, 10 seconds at a time. And, you know, they talk very much with their shoulders, or they breathe very clavicularly. You know, nothing is used here with the diaphragm. The diaphragm's a muscle. And we use the diaphragm a lot in yoga. And all of the breath work, the four, the square breath, all of that is pranayama from yoga. It's all stolen from yoga, which I wish they would give credence to, right? But everybody wants to sometimes invent something that already is. So the breath work that we'll do, and you'll do, is Bhastrika. It's called Bhastrika. And it's an even breath. But it's really engaging the diaphragm. So if you put your hands like this, right? And you know, if you were wearing a heart monitor in the gym, so just underneath where if you're wearing a yoga sports bra, it would be here on the seam. On a man, it would just be kind of like just underneath the chest. You would feel the top of the rib cage. And I want you to just feel into just breathing, just normally. And feel that rib cage, and feel the diaphragm as a muscle starting to push against your hands. And if you're not feeling it, you may be breathing up here, right? You wouldn't be feeling the expansion of the diaphragm. And those that are singers understand this. They understand projecting the voice and actually being in front of people. You know, if you're doing any presentations, breath work is a great thing to kind of get you centered and in your body to give your presentation without the nerves or the chaos of the thoughts, thinking of the future. So put your hands in that shape around and just feel this expansion. And as you expand in the inhale, you're expanding the belly. And then on the exhale, you're retracting the belly. So in the inhale, you're expanding the belly like a bag, like a paper bag. And then on the exhale, you're retracting the belly. And it's the opposite of what you're not used to. So as you do this practice more and more and more, if you panic, if anything happens, you can immediately put the breath into the belly so that you're grounded. Right? So inhale. Expand the belly. Exhale, retract the belly. So once you've kind of got that diaphragmatic movement, then you can put your hands on your belly so that you can really feel the belly going up and down, right? So the inhale is the expansion of the belly. The exhale is the retraction. So when I do this, it's expansion. When I do this, it's retraction for the belly, right? So inhale, expand the belly. Exhale, retract the belly. Inhale. Exhale. So now we're going to go for 4 and 4, right? So it's harder sometimes with the exhale because we do this a lot. Inhale. And then we exhale. And it's short. It's like 2. So what you want to do is you want to inhale for 4 and then exhale for 4. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 4. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So that calms the breath. If we want to fortify our life force, we hold in between the inhale and the exhale. So when I make that movement, that's expanding the belly. And when I make that movement, it's retracting the belly. And you're going to keep your collarbone nice and soft. There's not a... It's a softness, no effort. You're using your diaphragm. You're not using your collarbone. You're not using your shoulder girdle. None. This is off limits. It is only here you're using. Right? So you can either have the hands on the belly or you can be back here again to feel that expansion of the diaphragm. Okay? So inhale for 4. Hold. Exhale for 4. Inhale. Hold. Exhale for 4. Last one, inhale. Hold. Exhale. So if you hear, I don't know how to do that, that hurts, I got cramp, that's, you're struggling with your body. Your body wants to be in charge. Your body wants to have its panic attack when it wants to have its panic attack. It wants to have its anxiety when it wants to have an anxiety. And you have to train your body. You are in charge. But you have to do these training exercises. You have to let the body know that you know how to work it. You know how to calm it. You know how to notice. Right? Notice. So I hope that was helpful. So broths, bone broths, really great for the fall. Do your root vegetables. I like them in soups because I like them soft. And I like juicing. I like juicing beetroot and carrot and apple. That's my jam with, maybe some something in there, cucumber or whatever. But that's my 3 main staples that go in the one juice: beetroot, carrot, and apple. And ginger tea, another root vegetable, right? Turmeric, another root vegetable. Although we have the powdered turmeric, it's always good to get the root vegetable and make it in tea from the root, because you want to be rooted this fall season. This is the season when things fall away, the veil falls away. You let go of things, people, angers. This is the start of New Year celebrations for a lot of people. You have Rosh Hashanah, you have Diwali, you have the Farsi New Year, you have the Celtic New Year of Samhain, which is, Halloween. You have all of these different starts to the new year in a lot of traditions all over the world. So this is, golden milk, another great one with turmeric and the milk of your choice, almond milk, oat milk. But this is this is the season where there's a death of the year, there's a closing of the year, right? Although there's, you know, New Year, the 1st of January, like from the Gregorian calendar, is only 400 years old. Before that, we were going from different calendars, right? The Julian calendar. So what I want you to really kind of think about for next month, you know, because there's going to be a lot of change next month, so tune in for the newsletter, and a lot of spiciness, I want you to really look at your own kind of rebirth and your own taking stock of your harvest, and, you know, because these are the things that prevent you getting yourself in a pickle. Because you're too busy jarring pickles for your fall and winter. You're getting prepared. Preparation meets opportunity always. So you can either be in the storm and be in the tornado and be like, oh yeah, I should have done this and I should have done that and I could have done that and I should have done this. But you have to ask yourself, why are you not? That's for you to inquire. But the root vegetables that, this is really the season. The seasonal changes. I don't personally eat persimmons. I find them very hard to digest. It's not a fruit I grew up with, so my body isn't used to it. But I love pumpkin. Yeah. Pumpkin pie, pumpkins, I love pumpkin soup. So look to see how you would do it. Butternut squash, I love. So this is the season to start to kind of change out your food, change out your, maybe some of your juicing, to more kind of like root vegetables. Rather than things always in the trees, right? Things like apples or berry, you know, I mean, getting into things that are coming from the ground. Because the fall is, you know, the leaves are falling, they're shedding, and you have to ask yourself, what is it I want to just drop? What do I want to just let go of and renew, and know that if I drop it, something else will come. Also a really good time, I just did that today, moved a lot of furniture out to renew, do your space, maybe paint your space, get some new furniture, get rid of some furniture that you don't want, that holds that energy, cleaning out your closet, changing your closet over. It's got quite cool here in Los Angeles. And, you know, because when we start to get into movement like that, it's shedding. I don't need that. I haven't worn it for 2 years. I'm going to give that to charity. I'm going to give that to my friend. I gave someone a gardening book today, you know, that was really thick and all about soil and irrigation and everything. So there's just lots of things that you can start to kind of move. Yeah. And as we get into movement, and I want you to really kind of focus on yourself, get into your breath. I will post this on YouTube and on here so that you have it. And yeah, happy fall equinox. Just anyone have any questions or anything you want to discuss before I take the dogs for a walk? Another walk. Anything that you want to know or something that's been on your mind that you want to discuss? Oh, thank you, Meg. Yes, it's really resonating. Things are going to get people are very angry. You're right. People are very short-tempered. They're agitated. And unfortunately, we live in communities, right? Fortunately. But unfortunately, we sometimes have to anticipate people's rage and anger and agitation. And it's really, really easy. Do you want to know how you do it? When you're in the car and you're on a freeway and you're really tuned into driving, right? You're really present. And you just know you need to change lanes. You know you need to pull back from this person, or all of a sudden you just change lanes and then they're all over the place, or they've been on their phone, and you just know. You just know. Well, you can use that in life. You also know when to change lanes away from people and change lanes, or, you know, pull back a little, pull your energy in and let them go in front of you. You just know. You have that natural tuning, and the attunement method that I'm using is for that attunement to be enhanced. And if you're gonna play the game of life, you'll need it. Because you need to play dodgeball with so many characters. Right? Because not everybody wants the best for you. Right? Not everybody is your cheerleader. Not everybody is who they say they are. Right? So rather than trying to change everybody else, if you just know your own tuning and your own juice, and you can just... It's like dodgeball. You become super dodgeball. You'll be fine. But don't put yourself and throw yourself in the game because of people not being your cheerleader, or your wanting the best for you. Because if you're waiting for that, you're going to be waiting a long time. There's never a right time, you know. Yeah, you can't pacify them. They hate you even more if you decide not to activate. Good to talk to you, fall equinox. Do a meditation tonight. Be in your heart space. Be in your diaphragm. Smile. Smile to yourself. You've got this, right? You've got this. Mwah! Good to see you all, and I'll pop on again during the week. Oh, what a great transition it's going to be. But you have to be in your body, guys. You have to not allow people to put you off kilter, as they say. There's going to be a lot of it. Just is what it is. You know, put your sails up and just go. Yes, fiery, fiery. Just be like, ooh, I'm going to have a pumpkin spice. Since everybody else is so fiery, I'm going to fire up with some pumpkin. You know, don't lose your sense of humor, guys. It's needed in life. That's the great thing about humans. And I've worked with people that have went through things that are so dark, and we have laughed at certain things that have come up. People's sense of humor is astounding against things that happen to them. It's everything. It really is. And healing and being in this work doesn't have to be heavy and dense. And, you know, I actually think we need a sense of humor, because we really go there. We really go to the dense stuff. And when you come out the other end, you're like, wow, how did I let that get to me so much? You know, and then you laugh. And you're like, wow, they really did a number on me, or I was really doing a number on myself. So good to see you all, and I will post it. Take care. Bye.